Hey Audio Man, how are you doing today? Yeah, there will be another online tourney. Maybe I should have made a MoveBot command about that. There's the Steinitz Blitz tournament starting May 15th with Magnus and Grischuk, Dubov. It's gonna be pretty good. It's also gonna be broadcasted on TV too, so that's exciting. Hey Irv, how you doing? Hey Ataradov. Hey Heckner. So I have some incoming challenges, but I have decided through being actually, it's more like me being sick of losing chess games. I have decided from now on we're gonna play games with increments. So I see a lot of 3 minute challenges and some 5 minute challenges. But what we're gonna do is 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2 is the time control we're going for. Yeah, no, it's very exciting audio, man. It's gonna be one of the first times we do Blitz on TV2. So that's pretty exciting, but at the same time pretty scary. Because there's so much that can go wrong, and if you mess up something technical, then your broadcast is just gonna be lagging behind the entirety of the game. If you have a 10-second delay on a blitz game, something goes wrong, you don't make up those 10. You don't make up those 10 seconds. You can never catch up. It's FIDA approved? I don't think so, Audio Man. I think none of these tournaments online are being rated for FIDA rating. So it's being organized together with FIDA, the World Chess Federation. Um, but I don't think it counts for rating. Looks like you have a toothache. Okay, how does a man with a toothache look? I'm very curious. What what is what is it about me that makes it look like I have a toothache? Ah, yes, also. Hello to the Chess24 chat, to Sekan, to Bloby, to Chessblitz, to Panda. I almost forgot you guys, but now I have you on my screen. All is well. FIDA chairman behind invites? Yeah, I don't understand why they would want to make a point out of that. And I'm not even sure it's true. Um, but yeah, in the press release for the tournament, it says like the FIDA president is has helped some way with the invites. It feels a bit misplaced, but what are you gonna do? Hey barman, how you doing? Hey Jake. So your cheeks seem a bit swollen. Wow. The insults. No, we're very creative about the insults today. Slight grimace. No, I can assure you my teeth are doing just fine. But thank you for your concern. Jake, I may not be familiar with what Magnus has said on stream. Enlighten me. P99, yes, you can play against me. Um, I'm not sure how you do it from the Chess24 thingy, but find my username. It's Hammer. Pretty straightforward. Very good username. Early registrant. So find my username, find my profile, send me a challenge for a game, 3 plus 2 time control. And then you'll be in the queue waiting patiently behind such players as Stomp, Hui, Panda. No, Panda is actually not gonna. Oh, Panda is not has not challenged to 3 plus 2. Big oops there from Panda. Bloby, Torquay, and Maximutal and Chessblitz needs to change the time control they're challenging in from 3 minutes to 3+2. Love to see Sasha, Magnus, and Blitz. Yeah, that's going to be very exciting, Audio Man. Sasha Grishchuk, Magnus Carlsen, 2 former Blitz world champions. We're gonna be it's gonna be an interesting 17th of May. So for the organizers and for most people, that has that's a blunder, I think. Where are you gonna move this guy? What are you gonna do with that guy? Feels bad. See, with increments, I'm unbeatable. Have never lost a game on Chess 24 with increments. That's probably not true, but not to my memory. My memory is not the greatest though. Got a haircut? I dabble, barman. I tend to get scissors and cut my own hair, and then I'm unhappy with my own cut, which is super logical because I am no hairdresser. And then I find the scissor again, and the same thing tends to repeat itself. So yes, I did get a haircut. I gave it to myself, and I am still questioning the cleverness of that endeavor. If chess.com wants me to play, at least make me feel appreciated to participate. Yeah, I mean, chess.com is just trying to keep their expenses down, Jake. So it makes perfect sense to me that they want to offer as little as possible to the players. Frankly, I'm just surprised the players were happy to play at that sum. Daddy Cool, thank you so much coming in with the Twitch Prime for 21 months. Thank you so much. But yeah, it's become a big deal, huh? The whole debacle. I don't blame chess.com for wanting to get Magnus on the cheap. But of course that was never going to work. And I don't blame Magnus for saying no, because frankly, the offer they made was not very good. But to me, the most interesting part of that whole thing is that the other top players, the other like top 5, top 10 in the world, that they were happy to play. I tweeted about it, so you can check my Twitter. I also elaborated on my thoughts in the replies. Maybe new career as a hairdresser. Well, the thing is, Audio Man, that my back, I struggle with my back. I don't really take amazing care of my body. And so I noticed that when I was ironing my shirts, I was going to Bergen for TV broadcasts on the Magnus Invitational. And before I went to Bergen, I needed to fix my shirts. So I was standing in my living room for an hour at midnight the day before I had to get up early and take my flight. And I discovered that my back starts hurting pretty quickly with manual labor, or where you kind of need to concentrate or stuff like that. So I don't think hairdressing would be I don't think I would have the stamina, the physical strength required to be a hairdresser. Aquila with a tier 2 coming in for 25 months. Thank you so much, Aquila. And thank you, Mr. Dodgy, with a 5-month resub. You wouldn't be surprised if the countries provided additional. Yeah, I actually had that. Oh, sorry. I had that thought, Jake. That I don't understand how they're getting this done unless the countries kind of support themselves. But how do you then account for Europe and rest of the world? Those two teams will not have like a national federation to support it. So I just think people wanted to play chess. I think the top players wanted to play chess. They got an offer to play chess and they said yes, which is fine. But it may affect them in the future that similar organizers will not be willing to pay more than kind of they will take a look at the chess.com tournament and say, well, we're not going to pay you more than this tournament you played. A blunder of a queen from Turkey, but he was lost anyway. Because if the queen had gone one step further, it was still getting trapped. That queen just with a bishop, even without the bishop, the queen in general was just kind of stuck. I was getting ready to make this bishop threat next move anyway. Hey Collins, how are you doing? How do you think black should meet queen c2 in the QGD? I don't know, Pekko. Do you think it's a dangerous move? It seems to me that you can respond to that in multiple ways. Is it so bad? 500 euros an hour? I I can say that for the lowest rated players in the field, it's very very good. But there's a big difference between being like top 100 and being top 10 traditionally. But of course, it's lots of money. It's just less than what it is normal for similar things. What's the Pro Chess League prize fund? It's not very big, Chris. So, yeah, to be fair, people have been playing internet tournaments without really the expectation of being paid properly for some time. So, the Pro Chess League has like 20,000 first place, 10,000 second place. Maybe like they have $50,000 total prize fund, which is pretty much identical, I think, to what this tournament had. So yeah, in general, internet tourneys pay a lot less than normal tourneys. It's just now that there's no opportunities to play normal tourneys, maybe the players should expect or demand that these tournaments are treated as normal ones. But also I feel like Chess24 kind of made a mistake offering such high prices for the Magnus Invitational because clearly people were very willing to participate for much much less. Oh, let's just hope they don't fire me because of lack of funds. Your brother is gonna avenge your loss, Torquay. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, Peko. It's actually interesting you mentioned this. I'm gonna address you to my black opening repertoire. I'm gonna say that if you choose to go bishop e7 in castles, then you will transpose into some of the lines I recommend in my opening repertoire. Vinyar, I'm playing against people in the order they challenged me, but you can use your channel loyalty points to get ahead of the queue. Speaking of which, I think I think it was Vertwitch. Someone used their loyalty points to get a second game, and I said I wanted to play one game against everyone first. Also, for new arrivals, we're playing 3+2 time control. So Vinyar, Fasun, Teja, Yoop, all of you guys, please change your challenge to be the time control 3 minutes plus 2-second increments. Hey Asi, how are you doing? Who's Freddy's doing today? No, Aquila, new strategy. I have decided that I lose on time and I get in a bad mood. So we're doing increments from now on. No one will ever beat me again. Did you get a haircut? No, Collins. Well, yes, kind of. I cut my own hair. Pro Chess League is outraging as it makes a lot of money for Chess.com. I'm not sure about that, Jake. I think most of these online tournaments, you're not making money. I think pretty much every single online tournament is losing money. It's just the websites are using it as part of their marketing budget, essentially, which is fine. Oof, I thought he might go for this. I was hoping this is what was going to happen. Marketing equals money. I guess, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong, but it's very difficult to define how much money. I should have gone Queen G5, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to be checkmate regardless. What a tactic. Thank you, Aquila. Just point your queen towards the opponent's king. Always pays off. Below should have put his bishop back to f8. Hyataman! How are you doing? Coming in with a 26-month resub. Depends on the value of those viewers. Yeah, no, it becomes very tricky. So it's very difficult to define how good it is. But I mean, no commercial business does do things for, to be nice. Well, sometimes they do it to be nice, but they're hoping to make money while being nice. Are you going to play the titled arena today? No, I'm not. Blitz and our arenas just, it's no good. I have no idea what I recommended against Bishop C5. Ooh, this is ringing a bell. I think I've played Rui before in this exact line. I have no idea what I recommended though. Bateman, yeah, for sure. I'm trying to get through everyone first. But even without giving up your points, we can get you a second game. Taking control in the center has to be the right move. I don't know why I'm hesitating. I guess my hesitation is based on how am I going to defend the d4 square. Because now he's going to go bishop g4. This is actually kind of annoying. I'm going to take this one. Because if he takes with a queen, I'm going to attack the queen. If he takes with a knight, It's tempting to. This is tempting. This is a nice move. Because if he plays f6, then I give a check and he doesn't have bishop e6. I guess we're forcing bishop e6 because now his pieces are kind of crowded. He's going to play queen b4, which is, it doesn't seem like the greatest move ever, but it's kind of annoying. This opening was kind of interesting. Maybe I made a mistake playing d4 so quickly. Okay, I think we're gonna move the knight up here. We're gonna give him the double pawns, and then we're gonna claim that this bishop is not really doing much. Hikaru's hardest moments in life was playing Magnus in chess. Well, you know, when you're completely, I mean, us chess geeks, we spent a lot of time on chess, I suppose. So it becomes a big part of our triumphs and misery. But yeah, it sounds like he's had a nice life. There are people with worse problems. Arenas are still better than Swiss for Blitz as long as there are enough players. No, I disagree, Ozzy. I think arenas for Blitz is just very toxic. Well, toxic is the wrong word. Okay, he blundered his bishop. Feels bad, but at the same time, I feel good. He feels bad. No way he's getting out of this alive. I'm attacking the knight and the queen at the same time. That usually will suffice. No, I think a blitz and arena will benefit fast people enormously. So it's not really blitz. It becomes a completely different game, a completely different time control. Because you can't really win the tournament without treating blitz games as bullet games. So yeah, I'm not a big fan. What is Magnus doing now? I am not aware of what he's doing. Are you suggesting we install a camera in Magnus's house and just watch him for the rest of the quarantine? Honestly, would get good ratings. Your anti-cheating software is saying that I'm a computer blobby. Wow. You guess you gotta get new software. Hey, Olben. Olben is saying hi from St. Augustine, the oldest U.S. city. Do you want to elaborate on how you are the oldest? Because I was actually watching this TV show this week, Jamestown, which I thought was kind of like the first UK settlement on what is today the U.S. mainland. But St. Augustine, that sounds very French. I thought the Spaniards were maybe first. Hey Parinas, hey Crush Me. keeping up with the Carlsons, you'd watch. I mean, honestly, it would not just get viewers, it would be the biggest hit show. Just cameras following Carlson around, Magnus around. I saw Magnus was when I went to bed yesterday at like 2 or 3 a.m. He was sitting playing against this Iranian kid. 1 minute games. And like he plays 100 games at a time. It was yeah. He's pretty crazy about chess. It's funny, these top chess players, they seem to really like the game. Is it just me or am I getting a lot of white games today? I'm not complaining though. What his latest obsession with Bullet is about? I don't know, boredom, Aquila? Also, Bullet is fun. 1 minute chess, it's solely on your instincts. The only thing that matters are your instincts. And that's interesting. So this is the Hammer repertoire for white. Exclamation point video series, if you're interested. And it gives you a nice position normally. Though right now I cannot remember what I'm supposed to do. I feel like I'm supposed to take it. Take it and then put the knight on d5 as soon as possible. But it feels wrong. Anyone watch the Hammer video series? Anyone know what I recommended here? Wow, Aussie challenging me to 15-second chess. Probably pass on that. I cannot remember what I recommended. I'm gonna take it. Oh, 30-second chess. Wow, Aussie is so starved for attention, he's willing to give up 1,000 kroners. Just to keep himself entertained. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna sacrifice this knight and it's gonna kill him at some point. I didn't cover knight ge7? Of course I did. This is like the main move, no? I remember this position. I remember this position, and then I remember b takes, you go like bishop e2, or d takes, you go bishop c4. But this, I don't know. And I'm kind of scared, because the guy got the bishop pair. I'm not super happy about my position. He has the long-term advantages of the bishops. I'm trying to do something on the d file, but it doesn't really feel very threatening. Should have played knight d5 earlier. Yeah, I agree. Should have just gone for it while his king was still in the center. Hey Balash, how are you doing? Jamestown no longer exists. Ah, and that's why St. Augustine is the oldest remaining city. Interesting, Albin. Where is St. Augustine? Wow, f5, so aggressive, but also pretty good move. Low on time? Yeah, I know I'm low on time, but this is why we have the increments. That's what's going to save me. I don't need to be stressed anymore. The increments are going to save me when I'm in trouble. Yeah, I'm very. I didn't say it out loud, Alban, but I was thinking for it. I'm very happy with myself right now. He also has the long-term advantage of about 2 minutes on the clock. Aquila, you got it all wrong. 2 minutes is a short-term advantage. Before you know it, he's going to be the one in time trouble. Yeah, okay, that makes sense, Nisha. That feels logical. It has the ring of truth to it. Also, congratulations on your result in the chess fantasy contest. That was some really solid guesswork. I don't know if I should have done that. I feel like I should just go attack him, but I got this idea that I should protect my pawn. But he can just go and attack it once again. And if he does, I'm not going to bother defending it. Vinyar, yeah, thank you. I'm also a fan of my cup. It's the St. Louis Chess Club cup. I got it for free. Because, you know, if you don't ask, you're not going to get. I asked, I got. H6 is a pretty good move. Now he's going to play bishop d5. I'm hoping he protects his pawn on a7. Because that's going to give me some time to kick him away. But I guess no. Yeah. There's nothing good to say about my position. I have nothing positive to say. I don't know. You didn't win the fantasy? I did win the famous effing legends, yes. I'm getting very low on time. I'm giving away all my pieces. Yeah, this is not great. I'm getting outplayed. And now the big problem is that normally I've been able to flag people, but with 2 second extra per move, flagging doesn't really seem like a viable option. I may have been the victim of my own plan here. My idea to avoid problems by giving myself increments has been thwarted with some really bad play resulting in being down a rook and having to exchange the queens. It's not a lot of fun right now. I really wish I could flag this guy. Put king g6, it's just sad. Okay, we're attacking. King to the rescue. Yeah. Oh man, I'm so bad. I don't know why I'm playing on even. With increments, there's just nothing to play for. I got crushed. I got destroyed. Oh, what are you gonna do? This is not going so well? No. I'm not happy with that game. Okay, my strategy of playing increment games may have a flaw. I didn't think I ended up in losing positions that often though. But maybe I was wrong. I keep getting the white pieces. Hey Gelfeld, how you doing? Hey Tija. Rook endgames in which you are up a rook are the best ones. Yeah, rook endings are traditionally drawish, but less so in that circumstance. Dr. Bones, every rating system is different and cannot be compared to one another. So when you say online rating, already there's like 4 or 5 different online ratings, and they're all gonna have a different answer because you cannot really compare. We had this discussion a couple of times. I enjoyed it the first moments we did it, but now I'm kind of sick of having to explain that no, you cannot compare Chess24 and chess.com ratings. No, you cannot compare FIDE, and it's just not how the concept works. Hey Bunkinator, how are you doing? Hmm. Do we care about the threat to my central pawn? No, we do not. However, I'm kind of tempted to taking control in the center. We're going to maneuver actually. But I want you to know that I'm not maneuvering to protect this pawn. That's just a happy accident. We're moving this knight over to the queen side. Yeah, good game, Ruffle. I got destroyed. Yeah, but Aussie, you may hate it, but at the same time, there's multiple chess servers who actively try to make their ratings mimic the World Chess Federation ratings. So, some of the servers are kind of guilty themselves for, maybe instead of telling people it's wrong to have that expectations, you try to fulfill their expectation, and it doesn't really work like that. The only rating that matters is classical FIDE rating? No, I wouldn't say that, chess fan. Because there's so many people out there who's never played a FIDE rated game in their lives. It's very strange that he didn't go with a knight to b6. Now I'm very tempted to keep both knights on the board. Because takes. Knight c4 is not as great. It often you want to exchange more pieces when you're down, when you have less space. And right now I have more space, so I'm considering keeping more pieces on the board, either with knight c3 or by taking this guy. Taking this guy, I take a bishop, which is nice, but then I struggle getting my knight to the c4 square. So we're going to go with this one. Is that what URS is to solve? No. No, that's a different thing. So the universal the universal rating system, URS, that's trying to combine blitz, rapid, and normal time control games. but it doesn't include internet play whatsoever. And what you really hate is when people compare computer rating to human rating. Yeah, that's. But actually, the thing about I can be aggravated on for silly things, but when it comes to like the computer rating and stuff like that, I don't care enough. I don't care enough to get aggravated, so that's good for me. Hmm. Okay, I guess we're gonna do this. Were you following Nations Cup? Tell us the result and who is in the final. Bateman was following because it's China versus US in the final. Apparently, the rumor has it Europe choked big time in the final match. Did the US win on tiebreak? No. China was like miles and miles and miles ahead. But they're playing a final tomorrow. Oh, tiebreak over Europe? Yeah, I think they had more individual points or something. As I said, I didn't really follow it very closely. Okay, we're gonna just go over here and get the king involved. And then we're probably gonna win with that extra pawn. Here comes the king. Actually, that may have been a mistake. Yeah, because now he's gonna play rook a5. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think I played this right. Want to play Fortnite? No, Young. I I'm gonna actually I'm considering playing Fortnite after this. I just need to figure out when the final the 4 NCS part 1 is today. I want to watch that. I don't know when it starts. Wow, Mr. Yang. Clearly, we are not yin and yang kind of people, huh? Or maybe we are, just the complete opposites. Oh, that's a lot of checks. I just keep taking his guys. We're gonna let him take this one? Yeah. We are. And we're just gonna protect this one. We're gonna use the king to take this one. Then we're gonna use the rook to protect everything. I can guess CJ, but I'd rather not guess out loud. We're not yin and yang because, wow, because you are a super GM and I am not. Wow, that's a burn right there. Not good enough at chess for the people. You played like a god. Thank you, Panda. I needed that after the bit of a mishap in the previous game. I needed to play like a god. Okay, Mr. Chess Blitz. Bishop e2. I have never seen that move before. It looks terrible. Looks like a terrible move. Because now when I play d4, he cannot play e4. Because then I can just keep pushing down the board. So I played this line with bishop d3 a couple of times. But then you can play e4 here. I don't think you can in this circumstance. How does the Fortnite rank compare to Chess 24 ratings? Good question. I'm actually not familiar myself. We may need extra expertise to answer such difficult questions. Don't go play Fortnite 2. Already a couple of other chess streamers you like are playing Fortnite. I'm sorry to tell you that I am the original chess streamer playing Fortnite. I was the first-ish to bring the Fortnite into the chess. And because I am such an OG, look at me using fancy terms, I am also one of the best Fortnite players among the chess peeps. First and worst. Well, to be fair, Mr. Dodgy, when I was one of the first, I definitely was one of the worst. But since then, I have improved quite a bit. So now I'm an experienced veteran. Do you think US or China will win tomorrow? Let's see. Which team got like 4 points more than the other? It seems pretty clear that China is gonna win, I feel. China is such a beast in team competitions. Also in the Pro Chess League, they're just so much better than everyone else. US is psyched, but China too strong. I don't know though, because the US team is really strong. Because you haven't been playing Fabiano the last couple of days, but if you get Fabiano in there with Hikaru and Wesley, I mean, it's such an intimidating top three. But Crush against Hu or Crush against Van Yun, that's just, it's an automatic loss almost on board 4. Well, it's not an automatic loss. That's pretty rude of me to say. But like, you're a huge underdog on board 4. I guess we're gonna put the bishop here so that he cannot use this square for the rook. And we're gonna try to put pressure on this guy. China has draw odds too. Actually, Dodgy, I don't even know the format. Are they gonna play 2 games each? And in case of an 8-8 tie, then China wins? Because I mean, in case, if it was like in case of 2-2 draw odds, that's huge. But if it's like a bit more games, then, you know, maybe you can make something happen. I'm just going to play h5. I'm going to let him take my bishop, and I'm just going to hide out in the corner. Wow, it's only 1 game? That's pretty surprising. Wow, f4. Did not see that coming, but it's pretty strong. Mechaniac. Pretty sure I mispronounced that. Mechanic? Mechaniac. Mechaniac. Maybe I should pronounce it. F4 is a strong move. I wanted to avoid having to put my bishop down here, and now it turns out I'm still going to have to do it and lose a pawn while doing it. Okay, we'll probably have to hide out the bishop down here. Okay, it's time for the trades. And it's time to get the king involved. He's just going after my bishop. This h5 move was not the best I ever played. I'm regretting it. Yeah. I guess we're doing this, but it's just sad. Yeah, I might even be losing here. I mean, this is looking very dangerous with the king coming up the board so quickly. Now I put my pawn on another light square. It feels like for this entire game, I've just been putting my pieces on bad squares throughout. Yeah, now he has bishop f7. Completely missed that. Now we're just gonna have to grovel for a draw. Look at those pawns. What a nightmare. I had such a good position. I don't understand how I'm losing this. Okay, now I'm not losing it. So, a bit of good news there at least. Wow, Gelfeld, you want to give me your Amazon Prime sub, but you can't figure out how it works? Oh man, I'm cheering for you to find out though. Regardless of whether your status with your wife decreases. I'm your biggest fan in this endeavor. Yeah, good game, Chess Blitz. I don't know. I feel like I should have won that. But I guess... I don't know. This just feels so much better for black. Yeah, knight a5 was dumb. I should take. Then go knight a5. At least I'm threatening something. Should have played h6 at some point. I don't know. Maybe it's not so easy. I thought this structural advantage just should be so easy to play with black, but somehow I landed myself in trouble. I kept playing my pawns to the light squares when I had a light squared bishop, and I just did it time and time again. Not the greatest of ideas. It's time for retirement. I don't object, CJ. Have you seen retired people? They seem to be having fun, enjoying their lives, having grandkids and stuff. What was my mistake? I don't know, Yemche. I lost control. Put too many pawns on the light squares. The more you regret a move, the messier your hair gets. Yeah, I mean there's probably some causality there. Yeah, not gonna object to that. Rook d1. He's tempting me to do something. I'm tempted to play queen b6, queen c8. I'm considering c4, but probably closing down the center is not good because then he can start being aggressive. Well, c4, if you needed to win, c4 would be interesting, just gaining some space. But I think the winner today, probably queen c8, very solid. A bit of a trap, maybe. I have some hidden ideas, intentions, protecting my pieces. A lot of self-made youngers retires these days. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Gelfeld. I'm self-made-ish. Not, Hollywood blockbuster, but I do okay. I could retire. The thing about retiring is that it gets a bit boring. So it's nice not having to work. There's a nice middle path you want to go for, right? So it's nice not having to work every single day, but then again it's not so nice not doing anything for all the time. Are you happy in your new digs? Yeah, Rajusa, I'm pretty happy. I'm doing okay. Oof, I so want to do this just for the laughs, but it's probably not very good. Nah, it's too many pieces. But Magnus gave away his queen, I feel. Magnus had some really strange situation. I don't remember what the material count was, but it was pretty strange. I remember that. Actually, we're not going to do knight e4. So the thing I was considering, knight e4, and then he captures. Bishop takes f2, then he takes with a knight. I take his queen. So far, so good. But at the end of the variation, rook takes my knight, and then he ends up getting 3 pieces for a queen and a pawn, which normally is better for the 3 pieces, but it's very unclear. And probably I could have taken the pawn on b2 and attacked his rook. Maybe I should have gone for it. Knight e4 would have been exciting. And that's what we try to do on stream, right? Play exciting chess. Instead, I'm just playing these boring, decent moves. Okay, interesting. He chose to defend with the rook because he didn't want to weaken the light squares. But my plan was mainly exploiting the weakness of the light squares. So we're going to have to come up with something new. Actually, rook f1 was probably a really good move. I mean, it's not a good move, but it was a necessary move. And making the realization that this was necessary was pretty clever. Yeah, I'm still in Oslo. I'm not changing suburb. I'm good. My new house is actually much more downtown than my previous. This bishop is a bit of a problem piece in the Catalan. White very often just exchanges it for black's knight because the bishop struggles finding good places on the board. So now he's probably going to go bishop f4. Okay, no, he goes back. But yeah, the bishop isn't really doing much here. Illustrating the problem. What are we going to do like this? Feels a bit a one-sided plan. I guess we're going to get the rook into the game. Yeah, I have such a nice position. I just don't know what's next. So I guess we're going to win on time instead. Plan B is always winning on time. Okay, now I have this great knight though. Feels like I'm going to be able to do something with that. Such a nice piece. But I'm choking. So I'm just taking his guys, which seems nice. Check. Check. And we get the queen. Double check. He has to move his king, so then I can take the queen. Okay, up next is Shadowmate. Hey Marius, how are you doing? How's the life? Norway is returning to normal now. It's been 2 months since the lockdown, but it's we're starting to get ready. Forecast said chances of snow. Yes. Weather is still strange. But other than that, we're doing fine. I don't think it was your pickup lines, CJ. I think it was just I made myself yawn through a lack of sleep, amongst other things. Happy with the falling temperatures? I mean, I don't like Oslo when it's very warm because my apartment doesn't really deal with heat very well. And I think that is also the case for most people in Oslo. But at the same time, not a huge fan of like snow. I don't mind it being like minus degrees, but I really mind it when the snow just becomes this sludge that you somehow have to walk through. It's no fun. You'll have to remember that for me, CJ. You had a tornado, Hyataman, and 35 degrees? Oh man. I saw there was someone complaining about snow on like a gaming account or something, and someone responded in the comments, global warming. And I just, I have no idea whether they're kidding or not. When someone says global warming as a response to what's happening, it's so difficult to know whether they're cracking a joke or not. Okay, I thought I was being creative taking with the pawn. Because he played a5. I never would have taken the with the pawn normally, but since he played a5, he kind of weakened the b6 square. And this is significant for some reason. I can't really remember right now. So I thought it was a good idea. But I kind of changed my mind. If global warming exists, why are my feet cold? Well, I'm not sure necessarily the trolling is. It's just that we named it wrong. We should have accounted for, the general public when naming things. And so while the earth is getting warmer, the most significant part is that I'm feeling like doing something crazy on this side of the board, and I feel like I shouldn't do it, but at the same time it's so tempting. Oh, what the heck. It's a stream. You only live once. Eddie, you're the one I owe. Yes. Thank you. I remembered that I owed someone. I just didn't remember who it was, Eddie. Thanks for reminding me. Do you wanna do it now, for instance? You like G4, Jackson? Yeah, wait until I lose this game. Then you're not gonna like it anymore. Snyman coming in with a 28-month resub. 28 months. Thank you so much for the continued support. Yesterday it snowed so much your sister couldn't get signals to her TV. Well, I must admit I'm more concerned about the snowing part than the TV part, but the struggle. If I go D5, oh, if I go D5, is he gonna go E4? I was gonna say, but fate intervened, and I just made the worst move in the entire position. I don't understand why no one else is having this problem. The lack of arrows is kind of annoying, and it's increasing my misclick move rate enormously. No, Eddie, you can keep it. You're just gonna have to remind me when you want to use it. Oh man. Naka corners the arrow market. Yeah. Naka spends so many arrows that the chess servers just ran out. Okay, we're gonna be very sneaky. I just took a pawn. I'm very happy I took that pawn because he ran out of time. Actually, yeah. Taking that pawn, I might even be better here. My king is not safe. None of my pieces make sense. But I got a pawn. Sometimes that's all you need in chess. Oh, you're gonna remember it because it costs you all your hammer points? Yeah, that's fine. I feel like I was reading about some kind of new system. I forget. Let's just fianchetto our bishop. Go with the normal stuff. What's my favorite opening? Maybe the Berlin Jackson. I have a lot of very nice memories with the Berlin opening. It's been so long since I played this. I don't remember what you're supposed to do. Norwegian lives to die another day. Yes, Marius. For the time being, the airline Norwegian is not going to go bankrupt. However, there's always next month. um, yeah. I'm not feeling very optimistic, Marius. I checked how many reward points I had in Norwegian. It was a lot. But at the same time, I feel like they're gonna jack up the prices. So while I previously had enough for a New York round trip, um, I'm not sure that's gonna be the case in a couple of months. Magnus should just buy the Norwegian airline. Ooh, Redusa. I don't know why he didn't think of that. He should have just bought the airline. Well, five card draw, Grandmasters are big fans of the Berlin. It's just you, the uneducated masses, the people who have no appreciation of nuance and strategy and such things. You guys are the ones that gave Berlin a bad name. The opening itself is pretty awesome. Calm down? Yeah, no, I'm not being calm at all right now. I apologize. I often get this feedback on my stream. Hammer is too energetic. He needs to calm down. Yes. So, Mr. Papa, in case you haven't noticed already, you have fallen victim to some of my amazing opening preparation, which, even though it's like 5 years old, still claims victims here and there. I got my GM title in January of 2009, Jackson. The sarcasm. Well, at least I have something on the Bunna. So I managed to destroy this pawn structure. It cost me the bishop pair. But that should tell you how bad I think it is having this pawn structure. Because I was willing to give the bishop pair to make it happen. Okay, I regret my previous decision. I massively regret my decision to trade on d5. I should have taken with a bishop. I wanted to be cool. Papa definitely did not see that was a check. So if he takes here, then I can give a check and then take the bishop back. And that explains why he went king b8, because then he wanted to be able to capture here next move. So now he had prevented queen f5, and he was only concerned about like a5 pushing forward here. I had seen that I could go take this back with the queen, give a check. Cluex has extended their sub through June. I'm very confused as to why June is spelled in Norwegian on my end, but I guess they could only afford to translate the month. Thank you so much, Cluex. Hammer's opponent gave up the bishop pair. Yeah, big mistake. Nisha, this game was not one we're gonna advertise to the stream viewers. They could start thinking that giving up the bishop pair is acceptable. What do you think of the Rubinstein variation and the four knights? I don't know what opening that is, Mr. Man from Utrecht. Rubinstein, is that knight d4 or is it bishop b4? It's one or the other. Speaking of favorite openings, I guess having said that Berlin is my favorite, we gotta go for it. It's knight d4. It's too complicated for me. It's a very tricky opening. I played it as a kid with black. I won a nice game. As a junior player in Vlissingen, actually. Your country. Trying to get some spiel out of a boring opening. Well, Man from Utrecht, if you're looking for something interesting against the Four Knights, you should check out my video series. I think I have some really interesting concepts there. I think you're gonna agree that you can always get interesting positions, even when it's a traditionally boring opening. I had some good ideas there. Jose, hey, long time no see. How are you doing? With all of these players playing the Berlin when they're young, what will they play when they're old? When we're old, Pants, we're gonna be playing the short Queen's Gambit Declined, or Kramnik, or whatever you want to call it. There's this Queen's line in the Queen's Gambit Declined, where you get doubled pawns on the F file. And that's basically the Berlin of the Queen's Gambit. It's pretty good, actually. I played it with black quite a few times. And then Kramnik played it with black against Magnus. But shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have done that because Magnus had the hammer prep. It's a funny story. That morning, I was doing commentary on the game, and that morning I got a message from Peter Heine asking me what was your conclusions in these lines with the Queen Exchange, and I was like telling him, yeah, no, I think yeah this and that and some specifics. And then I also said to him, but I think this knight e2 idea is really good. So I kind of made sure that he was aware of that point. And then Magnus played knight e2 against Kramnik. It was awarded best novelty of 2016 by some chess magazine, or 2017 or whatever year it was. Voted best novelty, and Anish made a comment about it where he said Oh no, this couldn't possibly be Hammer's idea. It's too good. Which is like the biggest compliment you can get from Anish. Can someone find the game we're talking about in chat and link it so that everyone can understand what we're talking about? As solid as the Berlin? It's pretty solid, Marius. How nervous were you when you saw 92 on the board? I wasn't nervous, Marius, because I was busy. I was doing commentary on Norwegian TV. So I wasn't nervous at all. I was like kind of, I guess I can't really say anything about this because this is kind of personal information. Like I had a contract with Magnus when I was working for him as a opening helper. But then Magnus went into the confessional. So in this Norway chess tournament, they had a thing where the players could go into a room with a camera and kind of tell their thoughts about the position. And Magnus went into the confessional and he said, well, I guess I have to give a shout out to Hammer today because this is his opening. And I'm really happy about how it's going so far. And that was my signal to actually share with the TV audience that, oh yeah, I actually know this line pretty well. I've seen it before. Who takes Anish seriously? I mean when he's genuine. When he says it was a very impressive idea, that is him being genuine. So I was happy that he understood it was a magnificent idea. Marius, thank you for linking the game. I'm assuming you got the right game because you couldn't possibly mess it up. So if anyone is wondering what game we're talking about, Marius has linked it in the chat. Yeah, good times. Cluex! Gifting a sub to Vertwitch. Thank you so much, Cluex. He would be a good chess ambassador. Well, he already is Vertwitch. He has one of the best presences. How do you say that in plural? He has a really good presence. Maybe there is no plural. In chess. His Instagram is really funny. I could have exchanged knights, but we're gonna win this anyway. Poor guy. He has nowhere left to go. Good game, Eddie. Okay, Jackson, you ready for it? Let's see what you got. We're gonna do the Carcon this game. Almost played the Sicilian. Changed my mind last minute. Okay, so now it becomes more of a London system thing. which is actually kind of annoying. I wonder if you can play like f6 or if that's completely crazy. Okay, we're gonna try this actually. It looks very crazy. This is similar to something I swear I saw before. I'm pretty sure I saw this before. Some kind of Dutch kids playing a weird line against the London system. You're supposed to go bishop e3. That's the only thing I remember. I don't really know what's going on here. Wild speculation. Magnus blundered in the bishop c4 game on purpose. I'm going to say that's probably false, Marius, given his levels of embarrassment and self-hatred in the interview afterwards. Ooh, free bishop. I'm going to take that. No doubt. For reverse psychology to be able to play it that opening in the World Chess Championship. I didn't take you for a conspiracy theorist, Marius. Are you okay? Did something happen you want to talk about? Oh, Dodgy? Are you excited to play in the Mr. Dodgy Invitational? I didn't realize I had been invited. I always just assumed that you had to play if the organizer pointed at you. It's very surprising of you, Dodgy, to actually require acceptance. The Mr. Dodgy Mandatorial. Yeah, that's better. Probably a more accurate name. I feel like I'm about to checkmate this man. I'm creating a web. It's not a web of lies. It's a web of mates. Oof, that's gonna hurt you real bad, boy. Maybe it's gonna hurt me. It's so tempting. This move just... It's so difficult for white to move a single piece. Yes, he can capture this one, but I can just move my king away. I don't think it's a big problem. Now we're going to castle. Look at that rook. That rook wants to talk to his marshal, the leader of the white pieces. He wants to have a very serious conversation about his future. That rook was not having a good time, Vertvich. Yeah, rook h5 and rook h1, great defensively. Yeah, feed a trainer. It's doing a great job of preventing the king from moving away from checkmate. It's a smothered rook. You wonder if Facebook in the startup phase was pitched as a web of mates. That's a pretty good catchphrase, Marius. Maybe we can start a Facebook competitor. I'm sure it's not too late to grab the market. Hey Cobra, how are you doing? Jackson, you gotta protect your bishops, dude. Don't be giving away bishops willy-nilly. When I go after your bishop, you move it. next time, yeah? Oh, you're concerned about me breaking Facebook copyright? No, I'm thinking that's potential for a competitor. Ole Henrik, unfortunately, we're only playing against premium members. But if you do choose to go for the Chess24 premium membership, not only do you get to play with me in streams like this, but you also get access to the Magnus video series and also my video series on basic chess openings, your first chess repertoire. Up for grabs, 100%. I'm glad you think so, Marius. Soti, Sid, and Cobra. I have incoming challenges again from you guys, which is great. But I have decided we're playing 3 minutes plus 2 second increments. So if you can change your challenges to that time control, I'm ready to go, ready to play. Would have loved to see Hammer in a good tourney once again. I'm not sure I would have loved that, Audio Man. I'm a bit out of it. I haven't been playing very well lately, and also my openings are a bit out of date slash bad. I'm not sure which is worse, out of date openings or bad openings. Probably, definitely, bad openings are worse. Because out of date openings, at least you can kind of surprise the opponent a little bit. Bad openings are just no excuse. Increment is no longer hip. Well, I have never been known for my hipness. Man from Utrecht. Maybe watch your own series? I mean, I did watch my own series, Ollie. Look at this. Taking the center like a boss. Playing the hammer repertoire perfectly. Your hipness don't lie. Yeah, my hipness. I think I'm assuming lie in this context is definitely as in lying, as in resting, and my hips actually do rest continuously, so my hips do lie around every day. Knight h4, that is the move of a deluded person who thinks this is the moment to attack. But also, this is a London player. A London player trying to attack. It's kind of cute, but it's also just no, no. No London player should ever think that they can attack. It's just not in their DNA. I'm tempted to just giving away this pawn. If you make a new video series, what would you talk about then? Schokoladebanan. I was seriously considering making a video series on like Magnus's best games of 2019. But unfortunately, I didn't find the time to do so last time I was in Hamburg. So probably something like that, a game collection of sorts, would be my next video. Pretty sure this is winning a pawn-ish. Seems like a decent move. Yeah, Vertwitch. I remember. I don't know why I have this memory, but I remember sitting at a restaurant in Beale, playing the Beale tournament where I got my second IM norm, and we were sitting in the restaurant, and the radios were was playing Hips Don't Lie, and I was singing along. Good times, good memories. We're just gonna take this one. I feel like my central breakthrough has worked very nicely. And White's position is completely shattered. Not only do I have the safest king, I also have an extra pawn. Take? No, that's not going to work. That's going to lose a rook. Let's not do that. I guess we just move away. I wouldn't have it any other way, dodgy. I feel like the players in today's top events are being cuddled. Punitive rules may be what's needed to get these chess players in a line. Do you have any ambition to be an elite chess player? No, Patsy. Unfortunately not. I'm washed, as the kids would say. Big washed. Do you actually remember anything you talked about in your video series? Less and less every day. I definitely remember some of it, like the things I have repeated or yeah, learned, committed to memory the most. But some of the like sidelines and stuff like that, it goes in and it goes out. I never remember. Did you ever consider a career as a prison warden? No, should I, Marius? Do you think I would be a good fit for that? This man is getting checkmated. Feels bad. This is how crazy I am. Look at that pre-move, people. Isn't that the craziest pre-move you've seen? Underbon, thank you so much for the 10-month resub. What do you think about doing normal tactics problems versus the woodpecker method? I haven't read that book, Brian, so I don't really know. I thought the woodpecker was just doing lots of tactics, which I'm a fan of, I support. But yeah, I don't know what the difference is between doing lots of tactics and like tactics frenzy versus doing lots of tactics you already did before, I guess. I mean, essentially, as I understand it, the woodpecker method is just a selection of puzzles to give you a different basis of tactical themes. Well, I have no idea what it is, but that's what I'm assuming it is. And I feel like as long as you have a decent tactics tool, it doesn't really matter whether it's those puzzles or other puzzles, as long as you repeat and you know, get better. Remember the patterns and manage to use them in similar situations in your own game. Do you think watching video series is just as good as reading books to become better at chess? Well, I don't think so, Chocolate Banan. To me, but this is very much a generational thing. When I was a kid, we read books. Today, kids do video series. To me, I mean, being a grumpy old man and thinking everything was better in the good old days, um, video series are definitely more passive. You don't engage with the material as much as when you have to read it. Um, but on the other hand, video shows are a really nice tool and it's probably more accessible for some people. Bateman, yes, it's time for a game. Let's go. Let's get you your rematch. Fool coming in with the 18-month resub. Thank you so much. Did you get now the Viking helmet you despise? No. You're fine so far. We're gonna go with the French. We're gonna honor Mr. Jan Nepomniachtchi with his Vinegar pawn sacrifices. But instead, Bateman plays knight d2, so we gotta change our plan as well. What about Chessable's combination of video and stuff? Well, I mean, Chessable is based on kind of student participation, right? That you have to do, that you kind of have to input things yourself. My point about video stays the same, that it's a pretty passive thing, but it definitely helps when you're being quizzed. That I feel like that's what the Chessable videos are, that you're essentially being quizzed afterwards when you do the move trainer. And that's pretty good. Sounds good to me. You did not read opening books cover to cover, you just look up the lines you have a problem with? Yeah, me too, 5-card draw. I've never read a chess book cover to cover. I just start reading on some random page. It works. I want to go knight e7, but I'm afraid that I'm allowing f4. So I'm going to go queen c7 first. Any Norwegian players you think can reach the elites? Patsy, how do you define elites? Like top 10, top 20? Okay, I'm pretty happy with my opening. I have superior central control. And that's pretty impressive, seeing as how I played the French. And we got more active pieces. I mean, we have an amazing position here. Let's give it a check. For some reason, I want to go bishop f4, but it feels strange exchanging a piece that hasn't already been developed. But let's start with the check, forcing the king onto this diagonal. And then we're going to move this one somewhere. For some reason, my instinct is saying this one. And it feels a bit strange to me, exchanging that undeveloped piece, but on the other hand, then I get very easy access to the dark squares on the king side. You gotta trust your instincts sometimes. I guess like top 20. Top 20, I mean, it's tough. Maybe doable, but it's tough. I don't see any Norwegians at the moment being top 20 in the world, other than Magnus. But like top 10, I would say no chance whatsoever. Top 20, very, very unlikely. Think Magnus will stay top 20 in the world as long as he lives? If you think Magnus is going to keep playing chess until he dies, I'm going to say you're wrong. Upcoming talent in Norway right now. I mean, the best guy we have is Axel Buchwald, but he's very, very young, very young. So he still needs some time before we can say whether or not he's gonna be a big deal. So I just discovered that after bishop c6, he has knight takes e6, which is a bit of a problem. And by a bit of a problem, I mean pretty darn annoying. But he didn't do it. And I had a devilish plan to deal with it. What about Jan Sebastian Christiansen? Yeah, I don't know. It would be sensational if a player could be like 2,500 at 19 or 20 and then make the slowly work your way up. But yeah, no, he definitely has shown room for improvement, but top 20 is tough. Okay, finally, I get the time I need to move my queen away. Then I can go knight f4, and then it's just GG's. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have moved my queen there, because it became very easy for him to exchange off the queens. Kasparov is still 2,800. Yes, Chris. But to be fair, he hasn't played a single game since he retired. So, I mean, staying the same rating is not that difficult when you don't play any games. I'm not really happy with the way I played this. I might actually be worse. I thought I was going to be better with the bishop, but the knight on c5 is just controlling everything. Definitely had better moves than that, but c'est la vie. 95 was not a good move because now he doesn't have a good square for his knight. Oh, I definitely almost lost on time. I forgot that I was down to 4 seconds. I was very chill there making that move, that f6 move, contemplating my options while my time was ticking down. What was your devilish plan after knight takes e6? Okay, so if he had played knight takes e6, I was gonna go queen d6, but queen h6 is the same idea. Maybe, yeah, queen h6 is probably even better. And then when the knight takes my rook, I go knight f4. With the threat of queen takes h3, of the threat of bishop takes g2, knight takes e2. There's just so many threats at the same time. So I thought this is probably going to be good for me, and I think it's just instant death. So I think my assessment was correct. He played St. Louis. He didn't play. He only played Rapid Audio Man. Kasparov has not played long time control games since he retired. Yeah, 5 card draw. Avruk and Marin are really good. But honestly, among those three, my favorite is Rousin. I'm considering getting a Kindle just so that I can buy the Seven Deadly Chess Sins book because I haven't read that in like 10 years. It's a really good, interesting chess book. But it's out of print, so you can only get it on the Kindle. I don't know what you're talking about, AXL guy. When will you announce your extreme kindness in taking on Jan Gustafsson as your apprentice to learn some of your elite skills as a banter blitzer? Um, Dwertes, everyone has their own style, and that can never be taught. So, taking on Jan as an apprentice is just not going to work out because either you got it or you don't got it. And also, people's taste is different. So, some people are going to say that Jan's got it, someone's going to say that I got it, and someone's going to say neither one of us got it. It's a tricky business. I'm very happy with my position. I'm seriously considering playing knight e4. I feel like black is going to go like f5 next. Okay, I don't think that was a good idea. Because now you're just opening up for my queen to put pressure down the d file. And I'm ready to get the rook involved as well. Wow. People in chat not a fan of Jan's humor. Poor guy. 95 11. Yeah, but man, 95 was not great. But you still could have taken on d8 and played knight c6. There was no need to lose the knight, even though 95 was not good. You could have gotten out of it. German humor is no laughing matter. He's pretty dry. But honestly, dry is so good. Dry is the best humor. I just I really like his humor and I really like the dry humor. I'm not sure about his timing. I don't know. I feel like there's something missing. Or maybe he's too I'm not sure what it is. But I really like his general tone and kind of the dryness and the stone face. I'm very fan of the stone face. But it feels like sometimes people don't even hear his jokes. So while the stone face is good, it's important that people realize you're even making a joke. One of my favorite Norwegian comedians is Knut Knut Nahum, and he is also very much this stone face. And it makes it even better because when you crack, your stone face, you just know people know that you couldn't keep it together. What would you say exemplifies your type of humor? I I, I mean, I like to think intelligent, dry-witted, something like that. But I think the better way of thinking of it is more like what kind of comedians do you like? So um, I like Dara O'Brien. I actually got to meet Dara O'Brien. That was a lot of fun. May even have been the same day as the Kramnik story. What a story time we're having today. The Kramnik novelty and the Dara O'Brien at the same time. I got to see Dara O'Brien iron his own pants before his show. That was exciting. And then we got to see his show, and I shouted out one of the answers because I had seen the show already or excerpts of it on YouTube. Um, yeah, John Richardson I think is pretty funny, and David Mitchell. I have no idea who Norm Macdonald is. Also, five card draw. You're mentioning American comedians. And American comedians are pretty much by default not good. The maybe it's my taste in comedy, but there's so many funny British comedians, and like I never really encountered an American comedian I liked. We're about to checkmate this man. We got so many pieces in the attack. That's how easy it was. Just put your pieces on sensible squares and then push the H pawn. See here? First, we're putting pieces on sensible squares. Knight in the middle, bishop, bishop pointing in towards the center. And then for the breakthrough, just start that guy on the side of the board. And then you get your checkmate. David Mitchell is great. Yeah, he's pretty funny. Hammer has excellent taste in comedians, says Nisha. Are you British, Nisha? Somehow, I that compliment from you means more if you're British, because that means you have very in-depth knowledge of what's out there. What are your thoughts about the candidates after it got cancelled and Rajabov who withdrew because of Corona? I mean, I think the candidates is going to continue, and Rajabov is not going to be in it. They're already halfway. They can't change the system now. I heard rumors that Rajabov is getting a wild card for the next candidates, which I think is silly, but that sounds like politicking to me. You are British. Okay, very good. Yeah, no, I am myself happy with my taste in comedians. And I appreciate your honest shock at me having such good taste. You could tell Nisha was just surprised that a foreigner could have such good taste when there are even British people. who struggle understanding what's good and what's not. You're a sucker for British panelist shows? Which ones do you watch, Aquila? QI, best thing to come out of the BBC? I don't know. Would I Lie to You is pretty funny as well. Norm MacDonald's moth joke. Okay, I guess I'm gonna be Googling after this stream, Marius. Nicola gifting a sub to 5-card draw. Thank you, Nicola. You're more of a sketch comedy type of guy? Well, Man from Utrecht. You should check out David Mitchell. He did a sketch show together with Michael, some guy. Poor guy. Imagine being the some guy. They probably had equal parts in this show. David Mitchell, the Mitchell and something show. Mitchell and Webb. Michael Webb. John Webb. I think it's Michael. It's something with an M. Oh, you just said that David Mitchell is great. Oh, yeah, fair enough. Richard Webb. Robert, thank you. Robert, thank you. We got there in the end. Nicola gifting a sub to Crazy Cynical. Thank you so much, Nicola. I have no idea what you're talking about, Pants, but I'm gonna make an educated guess and say yes. Nicola also gifting a sub to Nisha. Thank you so much, Nicola. Robert Webb's pretty successful too. I mean, he's great in the sketches, Jordy, but I've never seen him elsewhere. Well, I saw him on Would I Lie to You, but I haven't seen him any other places. I'm pretty sure this knight takes e4 is a thing. Okay, I guess it's not anymore. And now he wants to go d4. Interesting. Do I want to do this? It's a bit freaky. Did I put my rook on the right square? Am I supposed to have my rook here? No, I'm pretty sure d8 is the right place for it. Maybe I can take and go knight d7. How strange is that? Giving up the bishops like that. It's kind of ugly, but it's kind of interesting. No, we cannot give away bishops like that. What would people think? They would think it's okay to give away bishops. We cannot condone such. We're going to move the bishop away. So if he goes d5, we're going to open everything up. And then the bishop might feel safer protecting the king. Some tactics on the e-file with everything just disappearing. Why not knight e8 and push Freddy? Well, Freddy is not ready to be pushed. Marius. I have all my pieces on the queen side. I cannot go crazy on the king side. There are many lines in the Ruin Lopez where you trade the bishop for a knight. Well, white does it sometimes, but black rarely does. Okay, that was not the best move. I try, Jody. I try, but even when I try to set an example, it doesn't work long term. Still a struggle. Did you get a TV contract for the Bachelor? It's just a matter of time. Man from Utrecht. I saw Botes was talking about this story in Bloomberg about Twitch wanting to do more like reality TV stuff. So I can only deduce that a contract offer is in the makings. I should not have allowed that move. Let's chase the bishop away and then play c5. Definitely didn't allow bishop h5 on purpose, but we're gonna get this knight to d4, and we're doing fine. Bishop h3 not good at some point. It felt a bit risky to me, Marius. I felt like there were some tactics that probably should have been avoided. Let's just go back. I'm not in a hurry. Ooh, we got threats all over the board. He started playing very quickly. Do I need to do the same? F4 was not the move. I don't know what was the move, but F4 was not it. I feel like I probably missed some winning lines there, but this will do. Hey, Past Pawn, how are you doing? That's a free knight there. Thank you very much. Episode 1, Hammer goes on a date. Aquila, surely episode 1 should be the contract negotiations. Being such a big star in Norway, that's going to be drama in itself, whether or not you can find common ground with a very, very demanding Hammer. Twitch wanting to do more reality stuff is such an odd phrase. There's barely any scripted content. Most reality TV is more scripted than Twitch. Yeah, that's true, QVD. That's so true. There was this YouTube video I really liked. It was Jennifer Lawrence does a lie detector test, and I thought she really came off as a really interesting person there, because she got some like questions about whether there are aliens and do you believe in life after death and stuff like that, and she had some really interesting answers. But one of the answers she had, one of the questions was, is reality TV real? And she said yes. And that just, I don't understand how you can think reality TV is real. Because everyone puts on a special, they put on an act when they're on TV. And I mean, most people put on an act just in everyday life as well. But it's always going to be amplified when it's on TV. You're banter blitzing on Chess24? Yes, I am, Past Pawn. Are you a premium member? If you are not, you should be. Because I have made this amazing video series giving you a opening repertoire for both callers. Both callers. Definitely worth your time. Yeah, man. Marius, I'm starting to realize I've spent so much time of my life watching YouTube videos. But yeah, I thought, based on that video, um, I thought Jennifer Lawrence seemed really interesting. But also, speaking of this kind of philosophy and are we living in a simulation, but specifically whether people have free will. That was it was Alice Eve on the Ferguson show. I don't know what it's called, but they had like a big conversation about like whether free will exists and stuff. And the thing about these kind of British people is that even though they seem like very down to earth and they seem scrubby at times, it feels like if you do success in the UK, you're always from some very fancy school. You're always either Cambridge or Oxford. So like I feel like the public people in the UK are they have a much more fancy education, or just they actually have an education also, which I feel is maybe not the case for some of their American counterparts. But yeah, like David Mitchell is probably went to some school. I don't know. Maybe it's just me making things up. Maybe if Nisha is still here, he can confirm or deny. Yeah, maybe that's true, Utrecht. Because I have no idea what it's about. So while it seems interesting to me, maybe it's just rehashing stuff. David Mitchell went to Cambridge. Yeah. What about these other people? John Richardson? Even Lee Mack. Lee Mack comes off as a very kind of working class guy, but I would not be surprised if he had some fancy schooling as well. The Footlights Dramatic Club. I don't know what that is, QVD. You would be surprised if Lee Mack went to school. Lee Mack is really good. His timing is, and he's really quick on his feet. Sprint triathlon, I've gotten that feedback previously as well. I just want to say that it's not my fault that I am a professional chess player. Focused is my go-to face. Yeah, I really like that show, Ulan. Nicola, are you around? Our game has started, but you can re-challenge after if this is not a good time for you. There he is. All we needed was to let him know. Mr. Bean went to Oxford. Well, of course he did. You think Mr. Bean is a Cambridge man? Get real. Are you actually any good at telling if they're lying? No, I'm not, Nisha. But that's kind of because they cheat. The cheating on that show is rampant. Someone should do something about it. Because people, when they're telling the truth, I feel they add, when they're lying, I don't know how to put it, but I feel like yeah, no, when they're telling the truth, I think they include some like white lies to make it sound even more outrageous. I think that's what I was trying to say. Cheating is part of the fun? Of course it is. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's a reason for not being able to get them. They embellish. Wow, Ostra. I didn't realize I needed to find a dictionary to be a Twitch streamer. Embellish definition. I feel like this kind of problem is unique to chess streams. Well, that's a pretty good word. I should embellish my vocabulary with this word. Of course you haven't bamboozled me. Don't you see how I included it immediately? Why do I have 18 notifications on Twitter? What has happened in the world? Oh, Mr. Dodgy. Wow. Mr. Dodgy getting this many interactions on Twitter is scary, really. Makes me think I'm doing something wrong. Oh no, he's just actually the reason I'm getting so many notifications is because Dodgy just spams the entire internet sphere with his tweets. It's not so much that he's getting a lot of engagement, he's just tagging me. He's tweeting like he has done like 10 tweets and tagged me in all of them. And now my Twitter is difficult to keep track of. What happened in the world? Just Mr. Dodgy. Trying to keep the people entertained in these corona times. Virtus, yes, there has been tournaments where the players were playing blindfolded, or to be fair, they played blindfold chess. They didn't actually play with a blindfold. I don't know if that distinction is important to you. Because I know of at least one organizer who wanted to host a tournament where the players were physically blindfolded. But I guess other things have come in the way. Yes, but yes, the Amber tournament, as 5 card draw mentions, the Amber tournament had blindfold chess. And unfortunately, they stopped organizing it some time ago, but it was one of the best events on the circuit. I was afraid of Bishop G5. I didn't want him to capture this knight, which is controlling the D5 square. So I'm going Bishop Knight E6, but it doesn't feel right to me. I think my idea was to do like A5 and then put the queen on B7. And then black has an extra pawn in the center, but it's a bit meh. I think probably Nicola should try to go like knight G5 or something, because he really wants um, to get this G5 square for the bishop. But now it feels like a good moment for me to strike in the center, since the knight is no longer attacking on E5. The organizer died? Oh man. Really? The sponsor or the organizer? Do you know if Carlson will play the Blitz titled arena? No, I do not know that. People have this weird expectation of me knowing what's going on in Magnus's life. Good game, Nicola. I guess 3-2 was needed for me to to have a chance, but still, you're gonna need a little more time than that again. I don't like your D5 move though. I think playing D5 before black goes C5 is a mistake. Because black gets a very nice extra pawn in the center. It feels like black is doing completely okay. But after A4, taking on A4 was a mistake. I should have just played queen B8 or something. Maybe even H6, just preventing this bishop G5 plan. Because when you play D5, very often what you want to follow up with is trying to take control of the D5 square. Put some piece there. So maybe bishop G5 and capture on F6, and maybe get the knight to D5. But when you already played your knight to G3, getting the knight to D5 is more difficult. And also, it's normal playing like this against the Zaitsev variation. But in the Zaitsev, black is not as readily prepared with the knight. So in the Zaitsev, bishop G5 and bishop takes F6 is very normal. But here I'm in a perfect situation to take back with the knight immediately and keep that important control in the center. Nicola, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Amber is his daughter's name. Yes. Melody Amber was the name of the tournament, and it was the name of one of Ustrop's daughters. And he had another daughter. I forget her name, but she got another competition. But I don't remember what sport it was. Maybe it was something like horses or tennis, or tennis is so expensive though. Or race cars. For some reason, I'm thinking race cars. The other daughter was Vaikanse. Oh, dodgy. You have a 1995 Amber Story 5-card draw. It's a long time ago. Well, I'm assuming it's pretty expensive to host tournaments, which is what we're talking about here. How do you like the name of Elon Musk's kid? I don't think they're gonna get it accepted. I think they're gonna have to find some other name for their baby. Whatever. We're gonna do this. It's a bit strange, but we're gonna do it. Wow, Queen C7. But I still get to trade the bishops though. So I'm fine with that. Wait, Aquila, are you telling a Norwegian how to pronounce ah? That's pretty bold of you. Norwegian is like one of two languages to use that letter. Yeah, that's fair. I do not know how to speak Latin. I want to go like B4, but I guess we're just going to build up. Okay, he did not want me to play B4. But on the other hand, maybe now he's weakened his position. I'll just move my rook into the middle. Cat? Ah? I guess it is, Marius. That's a weird example. Ha? Da? Ah? Cat? I don't know. I'm not sure I agree with the cat there. Is Magnus playing in Dodgy's Invitational? Of course he is. But it's not an invitational anymore. It's a mandatory no invitational mandatorial. Ooh, Tilted Arena is starting now, and Anish is streaming. Um, you know what? I might not want to compete with Mr. Anish Giri. If someone wants to use their hammer points to decide who we're gonna raid, please let me know now, because otherwise we're gonna raid Anish. Mr. Giri. Did he get his own Twitch account? This is very exciting. Anish streams? I think this is the first time ever. What account is he streaming on? Someone give me the information. Okay, we're gonna have to take this one. Leechess.org. That's the most boring username I've ever heard. Ooh, he's alive. Exciting. He's gonna get crushed. He's gonna have absolutely no chance at winning the titled arena. Oh, I'm getting low on time. We're gonna get this knight into the d6 square. Hope for the best. He's gonna get his knight to the c5 square. This is not good. I'm actually considering taking back with a pawn. I did take back with a pawn. Wow. How desperate am I? Yeah, this is pretty shabby. Okay, I'm gonna claim that my king has been safeguarded over here. Well, now we can take this one. So that's nice. That's nice. That's a pretty important pawn right there. Perino's probably regretting some earlier decisions right now. But he's still doing okay. I mean, yeah, get his queen down there. I mean, he could create some dangerous attacking thingies against my king. It feels. Oh, I'm about to lose on time. I'm kind of scared. I'm giving away all my pawns. I'm giving away 2 of my pawns. Wow, I gave away so many pawns, but he got stressed out by the time. While I was just Mr. Cool Cucumber all the way. Five card draw. In 1995, in the Amber tournament, they decided instead of a referee monitoring the game and making the moves the players said on the board, they would use computer screens with empty boards for the players to play. In 95, that's pretty modern. I feel like that's early adaptation of computers. But there was a problem. Karpov didn't know how to use a computer mouse. Oh man. Imagine Karpov actually competed against Gary, and Gary was a pioneer with computers and was doing computer analysis like in the late 80s, I think. Was that the end of your story, five card draw? I'm not criticizing. It was a nice story. I'm just wondering when we're done. I'll probably be streaming quite a bit this next week. Might do a stream tomorrow. Maybe maybe even before the Online Nations Cup thing. Do you guys know when the Nations Cup starts tomorrow? Because I have a thing at like 2, but I was thinking I could stream like 3 to 5. I feel like I heard that they're starting later tomorrow. Dodgy move. Anish doesn't even know that he's not on his own Twitch account. So asking someone to sub would just be nonsensical. He doesn't understand the medium. Yeah, it's the end of the story. Well, it was a nice story, five card draw, and I hope you'll be back to tell us more stories when I'm streaming again, probably sometime tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday. You can check out my Twitter. I will make sure to tweet whenever I go live. And if you use if you use the schedule command, if you're in Twitch chat right now, you can see when it starts. It starts 1 hour later tomorrow at 4 p.m. Yeah, so I might do a little stream like 2:30 until 4 tomorrow. Do some tactics, something like that. I'm not promising, but I'm insinuating. But we'll go raid Mr. Anish Giri and see his journey to despair as he tries to win, but fails in the title arena. Bye everyone, and see you later.